What is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints? I'm sorry, cider and port. I didn't know he was going live. I actually thought about doing this later this evening, but I want to chill out tonight. This is my day off from job hunting. I'm trying to get some streaming done. I showed the conversation at 4-hour stream. My guy showed up, but we had a bad connection. Couldn't talk to the guy I was trying to talk to today. 4-hour conversation. Kind of commenting on the conversation Skylar Fiction had with the room this morning, and then I had with Jill once Skylar and the rest of everybody left. And before I woke up this morning, earlier in that same stream, and I talked about this earlier, and I said I might review this if it's worth reviewing, Darth Dawkins might have had his most epic meltdown that I've ever seen, and maybe ever. Maybe just ever. I don't know. There's a lot more people more familiar with Darth Dawkins than I am. But this is cray. Hello, y'all. We'll see how many people join. Like I said, I did just have this really long stream. I'm not really to the point of trying to build everything back up. I'm dealing with my real life shit, so I kind of stream here and there. Today, 2 streams when I can go like 10 days without a single stream. This is fucking funny. I just recently learned like Darth is a young Earth creationist, a racist. I didn't know that about Darth. All I know really about Darth is that periodically he likes to come and harass me and try to trap me in philosophical questions, and then gets really butthurt and leaves, and it's like a 10 to 20 minute conversation whenever it happens. And I'm learning more. And we covered the praise and Darth shit, where Darth comes on Praise's channel, abuses his mods, Praise goes off the deep end. And Praise was right. He calling Darth a narcissist and all this. He was right, but he was wrong about some of the shit he was saying. Darth is a serial killer. Darth fucks his own mom. That type of shit. And if you don't remember that, well, I'm going to refresh you. I told Gur Streams to watch this about a week ago, or about 3 weeks ago when it first came out. This is on Tom Rabbit's channel. Somebody animated part of that conversation that Praise had with Tom Rabbit, where he was saying all those things about Darth Dawkins. So just to remind you of that, I thought now would be a great time to watch. So let's check it out.
Now, let's say Darth goes to Starbucks, or as he goes, I think he goes to Dunkin' Donuts. He loves Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
He goes to Dunkin' Donuts, specifies 2 shots espresso, and he comes to learn. He goes through the drive-thru, let's say. He's a block away before he takes his first sip and realizes there are no extra shots of espresso, right? They messed up the order, okay? Now, I want you to be serious with me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's possible, knowing what we now know about Darth, specifically you, he turns around, he walks right into the person, he says, "Who made this?" Little Susie, who's 16, the money, school. I made it. Do you think he's got it within him to take that scalding,
This is so fucking funny. Oh my god.
misprepared latte and throw it in Susie's face, causing 3rd-degree burns all over her face, neck, shoulder? Do you think he's got it in him?
Only after a consecutive. So if his first rebuke did not work, and she
Let's
goes,
say this is the second time this happened.
yeah.
Let's say this is the second time Susie did this to him.
Mm.
He told her about it before.
All right. So, and It's like a 3 minute 46-second video on Darth Dawkins' channel. It's called DGH Animated Darth Dawkins versus Little Susie, and it's amazing. It's amazing. If you haven't watched the whole thing, watch the whole thing. I would just let us sit here and play the whole thing, but it's on Tom Rabbit's channel. So if you want to see the whole thing and you haven't seen the whole thing yet, go check it out. Find it. It's hilarious. You're not gonna fucking regret it. Greatest thing ever. But that happened, right? And I even called praise out. Like, I called praise out for it because it's just like, praise, you're not wrong about Darth Dawkins. But like they're saying in the side chat right now, you don't have to exaggerate about Darth Dawkins, right? Like, you just don't have to do that. He's bad enough. You don't have to make him worse. Now, calling him a narcissist, fine. You're not a psychologist, so it's like, but if you're going to do that, then just don't use the Christian shit. Use like a real, like, I don't know, signs of a narcissist or something. Don't use the Christian shit. So we saw that. And then eventually, as I predicted and many others predicted, and man, my microphone is just popping in this room. I'm going to have to figure that out and do something. This room must have much better acoustics than the last room I was in where my microphone was super low. As I predicted and many people predicted, praise flip-flopped. And praise bent the knee to Darth again, apologized, which he should have apologized for a lot of things he said, and I'm surprised. But, Darth being the narcissist that he is, he wants people groveling, and as long as you're groveling, it doesn't really matter what you said about him before. I remember predicting, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. The shit's going to happen again. And lo and behold, the shit happened again last night. Not praise. Praise, all right. Praise was trying to be on Darth's side here. And you guys are going to see it. So I'm going to start this right when Mark Reid comes into the room. Mark Reid is going to come into the room. The whole stream is review of Darth Dawkins versus Scholar Fiction. Darth is there. And at this point, they're saying if any atheist wants to come in and challenge Darth, then feel free to do so. They'll be able to challenge Darth, ask Darth questions. That's the whole point of it now. So Mark Reid comes in, answers that challenge, and wants to talk to Darth Dawkins. So let's get right into it.
I would strongly recommend that you read James White's book, the King
Is
James.
Is it me or is Darth freaking out?
Yeah, he's
also there's a book by the book on the King James controversy.
Your mic's freaking up, Darth.
All right,
roboting in the house. Hello.
Right,
how you doing?
Welcome, Mark.
Hey,
Welcome.
how you doing?
Are you ready to take the Darth challenge number 2?
Who's going to watch Numi's unboxing
Or
tomorrow?
round number 2?
I was just passing by and sort of, I heard that you're a young Earth creationist, Darth. I find that kind of surprising. It's a little bit weird to me. So, I guess, like, I heard you talking about radiometric dating, and radiometric dating isn't, 100% accurate. There's degrees of inaccuracy in it, but it's not terrible methodology of dating.
Is it based upon circular reasoning, Mark?
No. So you don't believe in...
You just showed your ignorance right there.
Okay, sure. Well, the thing is, we know that radiometric isotopes decay
It's
at a
not
certain
me,
rate.
we.
And we
Whenever somebody says we, that's troublesome.
Well, I mean, sort of...
All right, so lots of sciencey shit's going to be talked in this. And I have actually done some research into some radiometric dating research and preparation for debates with Matt Powell. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know all the science behind a lot of the things that these two gentlemen here are going to be talking about. And I don't think I need to, because it's about the meltdown that comes, right? Like
the scientific community that uses radiometric
I'm very
dating.
well read about radiometric.
And real quick, again, hello to everybody in the chat. Tatted Jedi is here. Hello, yo, what up, Tatted? I see Jay, all you guys in the side chat, thanks for being here. Yes, I am streaming once again. I was going to wait till later to do this, and I said I might do this earlier, but I wanted to go ahead and get it done. It's fucking hilarious. I wanted to chill out for the last few hours of the night on my day off from doing shit this week. So
update. Please don't do what you did last time, like your community college.
Doris, you're
professor.
breaking
Don't
up
mind
again, man.
disagree with
You
me.
might need
Yeah, I
to
can't understand a
refresh.
word you're saying.
You need to refresh your mic.
So what I was saying is that sort of we know that radiometric dating we use atomic clocks in the same way. It has a very, very reliable decay rate that we use it for, and depending on which isotope we're using, like carbon-14 or, sort of.
Like, is he kissing Darth's ass like right now? Are they live? Or are they like a clubhouse debate? Must be like a clubhouse debate or something. I'm sure I'll see that. Soon enough. And it doesn't surprise me.
Plutonium dating or argon. Sorry, is it argon? Argon, yeah. They go back certain dates, but I don't think it's circular. I don't think that radiometric dating is based upon the age of the Earth. I don't think that's the case, because we use the same methodology or the same idea for atomic clocks, which are extraordinarily accurate. We use them for the most accurate clocks in the world.
Okay. That's besides the point. Mark, I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Your mic's not fixed.
Really.
It still broke out.
It's not really besides the point.
It sounds like Aurora Borealis.
It's like, I don't know. Maybe it should be assigned to Darth, right? Like, all right, so this whole time you've been able to talk, no problems, nobody's complaining about your microphone. Mark Reid comes in. Maybe you're God. And man, that microphone is popping, y'all. Popping. All right. Maybe your God. I'll take it away from my mouth and it still pops. Maybe your God is trying to give you a fucking sign that says, this is not the conversation you want to have, Darth. Maybe, just maybe.
Sounds like the Aurora type of interference you'd get on a shortwave radio.
All right, I'm going to switch to my earpod mic.
Sweet.
I wasn't aware. I see the banner down the bottom. I wasn't aware there was actually a Darth challenge kind of thing. I just found it interesting. So is everybody a young Earth creationist here? Just
okay.
Okay.
How about now? Is that better?
All right, so James Taylor right there, 316. I'm going to be on his channel Saturday night. And he's an interesting cat. And he's a KJV only. And I'm just now learning he's young Earth creationist. He's an interesting cat. We get along. Completely different politics. But I don't know, something about the cat I just really dig, and I think it's like his I don't give a fuck attitude. But yeah, like he might surprise you. Like if you got to know James, like you're not gonna look at him and see like that. I don't think. But yeah, he's KGAV and he's I guess a young Earth creationist. I didn't know that about him, and I'm gonna be on his channel Saturday night. He's West Coast, so I think it'll start like 11:30 Eastern time, and we're going to be looking at a conversation that he had with the preacher while in drag. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to be checking that out as soon as I can, and then I think I'm going to be going on his channel, and we're going to be looking at that.
It's better, but it sounds like it's far away, but it's still better.
Way better than you were before. You were in oblivion before.
All right.
Yeah, that's better. Not roboting as much.
Okay. Mark, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, okay?
Well, see, the thing is that last time Mark, I said I should have refused the questions.
We're not going to do a repeat. We're not going to do a repeat that you did the last time. I don't
because
mind
last time you accused me.
Praise, would you please
time
stop to this?
Yeah,
we're not going to have a repeat of this again.
Mark, so he can convey his position, so you can critique it. Can you let him just present his points? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what we need to do is
we need to ask me questions to present his position.
What we need to do is each person can speak uninterrupted for 60 seconds, and then after that, the other person can interrupt and interject, so it prevents one or both of us doing
like it doesn't even take 5 minutes for Mark Reid to come in, not even really answering the challenge that this has now become, is like he had even put it in the description. But now that he's there, it's the challenge, and we're not even into it 5 minutes before Darth is trying to dictate to Praise once again how he's going to run his channel. We just started. All right, now let's continue.
Autistic Community College lectures.
I agree.
Now,
so every person has a minute to speak. How about that, Mark?
Okay, so
sure,
Mark,
that sounds great.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions, okay?
Well,
now,
you don't need to ask me questions to make your position.
Mark, listen, we're not, listen carefully, okay? I know you don't agree with me, but I'm going to tell you mano a mano, I'm not going to have a repeat of your same bad behavior that you did last time, okay?
Well,
so stop being rude.
Pretty good, actually.
Stop being rude.
Yeah, hold on, Mark. Just let him get his questioning out so you can respond to it.
Well, no, I just want to ask something first. Like, do I get to ask questions back?
Yes.
All right, so remember that and watch for it, because, you know, like, Praise is going to claim that he was being fair, but I think, you know, if you're an honest bystander watching, as you're going to be watching this with me, hopefully, through the entire thing, as I was when I watched it after I reviewed Skylar's conversation this morning that I was kind of a part of. I became a part of, you know, I let Skylar do his thing. You know, as a bystander, I don't think Praise is fair in this at all. I think he is siding with Darth the entire time, like he just did, right? Like, bowing to Darth's will right there. I think he does that the entire time. And that's important, because that's why I named the stream Darth Dawkins Goes Off on Praise. I'm trying to be on Darth's side, because he was literally trying to be on Darth's side as much as he could be, and still try to lie about himself being fair in all of this. So we'll continue now.
Okay, fantastic. No worries.
Now, radiometric isotope dating is based upon several factors combined in order to get an estimated age, okay? One of them is the isolation of an isotope known as the daughter element. Do you agree with that?
I believe so, yeah. The daughter element.
And then the next thing is that they want to figure out what the half-life decay is of the parent element that decayed into the daughter element. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. So,
okay. And they also have to have a putative atomic state of a parent element. Do you agree with that?
A putative state of atomic element.
Putative parent element. Putative means asserted to be the case.
Asserted to be the case.
Yeah. Now, must the rock containing the daughter element be as old, if not older, than the putative parent element?
Must the rock be older than the parent element?
Can the rock be younger than the parent element?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so you have to start with the assumption that the rock containing the daughter element that allegedly decayed from the parent element over long periods of time, that the rock containing that that it is as old, if not older, than the putative parent element. Do you agree with that?
I don't see the point that you're trying to make. So
okay, that's a dodge.
We can see the
decay
of elements.
I asked you a question, you didn't answer it. Do you need me to repeat the question?
Yeah.
I mean, so you probably guessed it. It's all leading up to, as most young Earth creationists do, is, you know, Darth Dawkins and his philosophical brilliance and now in his scientific brilliance has figured out why science is wrong. But all right, let's go.
Yeah, repeat the question then.
Okay, yeah, because I articulated it very clearly, okay? Must the rock containing the daughter element that allegedly decayed from the putative parent element, must that rock be as old or older than the putative parent element?
It's as old as the parent element.
Okay. Must it be as old or older than the parent element?
Well, I mean, I suppose it could be older, and the parent element
now if it was younger,
another element.
If it was younger, in fact, unbeknownst to the testers, then the putative parent element, would their calculations be wrong?
If the rock was younger, would their calculations be wrong? Is that what you're asking?
If the rock was younger, unbeknownst to them, than the putative parent element, okay, that they're counting backwards to, would their calculations be wrong?
Well, I think that if the rock was younger, the calculations and models that they created wouldn't work at all.
That's not an answer to my question. That was
yes,
an example. No, it was an example.
No, that's exactly an answer to the question. Like exactly, and a better answer that I could have gave. I don't fucking know. Fuck. You know, I would have to assume that these really smart people that dedicate their entire lives of this shit probably took that into account. And Mark seems to have a pretty good answer there. But it is an answer. It's definitely an answer.
It was an example of verbal obfuscation. It was direct. It was a direct. Please don't repeat your bad behavior that you did the last time. Okay, you just make yourself look silly. Okay, I'm not fooled by your rhetoric. Okay, all right. Wow. Okay, and the reason why I'm being so straightforward with you is because of your monologuing and boulder dashing.
All right, so like right off the bat, Darth Dawkins is clearly intimidated by Mark Reid's intelligence and Mark Reid's ability to combat him and the bullshit he says. Very, very defensive, very like whiny, and it's only going to get worse from here, y'all. And it's going to go on for a bit.
The last time I talked with you. Now, if that rock was created,
is it my 60 seconds yet?
Okay, no, I'm asking a series of questions. That's all. If the rock came into existence,
I think my 60 seconds will never come.
No, hold on. See, Darth, we'll let him do his line of questioning too, so we can have a fair balance.
That's fine, but I haven't gotten to my point yet.
Okay, go ahead, Darth.
Well, I mean, it was supposed to be 60 seconds, and he's obviously not going to do that. So I'm really sorry, but that's what he said.
And Mark's not wrong, right? Like, so this is what I'm saying. Like, Praise tries to be fair, but can't quite do it because he's spineless and he has no courage. And he just had that whole thing with Darth, and he doesn't want it to happen again. And, you know, I'm assuming it probably will. You know, even if, like, Praise is at this very moment kissing Darth's ass, again, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
So is that okay, Darth?
You were giving 60 seconds when I asked you these questions.
But now, I'm not allowed to answer them how I want.
No. You were given 60 seconds uninterrupted. Okay. Now, do you want to ask me any questions before I resume?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So how do you explain the ice core layers in the Antarctica going down 800,000 years?
Okay, I don't accept that extrapolation. Okay, I don't accept that the ice layers are laid down yearly. They could have been laid down rapidly in the same way. The question. I'll explain it to you in a second. Okay. The question can be answered by a parallel explanation dealing with the safe. Okay.
You're obfuscating.
We're not going to continue. We're not going to continue praise. I am not going to put up with this. If you don't stop this child.
Just explain how it works. How the layers.
Praise. Are you going to monitor? Are you going to moderate?
I'm jumping in, Dar. So can enough of the insults and the ad hoc.
Praise, motherfucker, praise. You better do something. He's asking me questions.
Homonyms. Can we just continue with the conversation?
What we are dealing with are various layers, one on top of each other, much like the layers that we find in the Grand Canyon. The problem is you are approaching the age of these ice layers, or for that matter, the sedimentary layers like in the Grand Canyon, through an ideological retrospective called uniformitarianism. Now, do you know what uniformitarianism is?
So how do the layers get put down if not for...
I just asked you a direct question, sir.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get some time to ask some questions as well.
Okay,
because my question, you didn't answer my question. My question was, how do you explain that? And you didn't explain it. You just said
that these multiple
uniformitarianism.
these layers.
So how would they get there?
You know, there's only so much of this I'm going to put up with, Praise.
Yeah.
So you didn't answer the question. I mean, when I say,
you know what?
I'm just going to say we're going to go to time responses.
You know what? You told me you were autistic. You definitely proved it now.
Well, here's what I suggest: we go into time responses. We both just get a minute straight up. You can place your.
All right, so Praise is going to try, y'all. He's going to try, and he's going to try, and he's going to try, and he's going to try.
Explanation is that various layers, whether it's ice cores or sedimentary layers, from a biblical paradigm, is that these layers were laid down rapidly over a short period of time, rather than the extrapolation that these layers, including the ice layers and the sedimentary layers in the Grand Canyon, happened over a long period of time. The reason why they interpret these layers as being representative of many years is because they are filtering it through an ideological grid known as uniformitarianism. Now, Mark, do you know what uniformitarianism is in geology? What is it?
So,
can you tell me what that is?
Uniformitarianism basically says that all of the processes in geological formation are basically the same no matter where they are in the world. But what I don't understand is
that is an incorrect representation.
All of these things were laid down all at once.
No, that's not uniformitarian.
That's not uniformitarian. Okay, yeah. Please do not help him out, Praise.
Okay.
Now, can you tell me? Can you tell me?
All right, you guys in the side chat, you're right. Mark asked a very direct question. Darth doesn't answer it and goes right into asking another question. That's what Darth does, right? But remember that part right there, right? Because that's Mark's going to get to work and he's going to make, because, Mark's not wrong. Darth says he's wrong. Praise immediately agrees with Darth. Again, as you notice, Praise says he's going to start doing time responses. He doesn't. And, he does try to be fair, but he's definitely siding with Darth Dawkins. And he's going to continue to do that.
Within a geological retrodiction,
what
would be? Hey, listen. Look. I'm going to ask you to remove him if he doesn't stop with this. Okay.
Well, I mean,
This is a tactic that he pulls all the time. Now, Mark, can you tell me, prior to uniformitarianism, what was the technical term that geologists used?
Sorry, well, it's funny. I've just looked it up. The uniformitarianism says the Earth is always
You're not
changed.
answering my question.
Me, sir. I just looked it up. You told me I was wrong.
I'm not going to keep on doing
this.
You told me I was wrong, so I looked it up.
But he's not prevaricating. You're the one who's prevaricating. He asked you to explain how this happens, and you never did that. Okay. You ran away when you were asked. You were asked to explain. You were asked to explain how something happened, and you ran away.
Yeah,
it is ornithologist is realistic nihilist. Get rid of him.
Well, I think.
All right, again, so read the thing. I got it still right now. It says, any atheist come in and challenge Darth. Now, that dude, who Darth Dawkins is saying is realistic nihilism, probably is. He seems to know. Came in, challenged, and immediately Darth demands that he be removed. And Praise removes him. Even though it says any atheist come in, challenge Darth. That's the challenge. So that challenge failed. Boom. Darth fails the challenge. Now he's trying to do the same thing with Mark. He's trying to get Praise, demanding that Praise Make Mark bow to his will.
He's got Mark, but you asked me. No, Darth, settle. You asked me. You asked me what uniformitarianism was. I gave my understanding. Right. So I looked it up. So let's get on the same page.
And I do give it away in the title. Darth's meltdown isn't going to be against Mark Reid here. It's not going to be against Mark Reid. He's going to be rude to Mark the entire time. He loses his shit on praise. I shit you not.
Page without definitions.
Now I asked you a follow-up question.
So, uniformitarianism, also known as the doctrine of uniformity, or the uniformitarian principle, is the assumption that the same natural laws and processes that operate in our present-day scientific observations
you're just over-talking each other.
In the universe in the past.
I'm going to
doing it again, praise.
Well, no,
all you are simply doing, Mark, is
we need to do time responses, Darth.
Hey, Mark,
hold on, I'm going to pull it up.
Can you stop reading material and speak to me and converse with me rather than read?
That's classic Darth asking people not to read material.
Reading stuff off the internet?
Well, the definition appears to be similar to what I said.
Reading stuff off the internet and converse with me, please?
Yeah, the definition appears
Do you commit to doing that, Mark?
Well,
Mark,
when somebody says I'm wrong, I look it up. Yeah, Darth, I do that when somebody says I'm wrong.
I didn't tell you not to look it up. You are reading and you are wasting your time and you're dodging and delaying. Now, Mark, what is the geological term that has supplanted uniformitarianism in geology today?
I don't know. I don't think.
Okay, so you don't know a critical term in modern geology.
Well, what's that term?
Now, prior to uniformitarianism, what was the retrodictive term in geological nomenclature that they used before they changed to uniformitarianism? What was the term, Mark?
Gradualism?
No, it was called catastrophism.
Well,
okay?
I mean, that's a religious stance.
It wasn't
really
gradualism. Uniformitarianism incorporates the notion of gradualism. I ask you, what was popular before uniformitarianism? What was the term? And you didn't know. The term is catastrophism.
Okay, hold on. Give Darth 1 minute.
The fact of the matter is modern geology doesn't even go by uniformitarianism.
We're going to give you a minute.
It goes by actualism, which is a mixture of uniformitarianism and some catastrophism.
I'm starting it now, Darth. You get a minute. I'm going to let Mark get a minute to respond. So go ahead, Darth.
Okay, so if the Earth was created 1 month ago, or 1 year ago, or 6,000 years ago, okay, what would that mean for the retrodictive calculations based upon the half-life? Would that mean that they are wrong?
This is your minute. You got to keep making your points.
Unless you say your time is up.
Well, I mean,
I'm waiting for an answer to my question.
Okay, so now it's Mark's turn now for his. Yeah.
All right, now it's yours.
So, even if it was like created last Thursdayism kind of thing, we still know the decay rate for that. We still know that
it doesn't last one round.
Decay rates for these isotopes, and they do decay at a constant rate. The idea that we can measure this and use it for accurate clocks isn't an aside or something completely unrelated. The fact is that we see these isotopes decaying right now at a certain amount. Well, I mean, I am. It means that even if the universe was created, a certain amount of years ago, it would not invalidate the rate of decay for isotopes. It just You haven't answered how the layers got there on the ice. You just said, "Hey, I just uniformitarianism," and then you went off a complete tangent.
No, I did answer you. Don't you recall what I said? I did answer you. Do you recall what I said?
I don't recall any answer. How did the answer?
Okay, I did give you an answer. Do you not remember?
How was that? Well, no, I remember you bringing up uniformitarianism.
So you don't remember what I said?
Does anyone else?
Okay. I'm asking you, do you remember what I said?
Does anyone else remember?
Catastrophism.
Okay.
Catastrophism.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said
Well,
was,
then nobody seems to remember
I
that.
hold to, yeah, you know what? This is why it is so
That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. He said catastrophism.
difficult dealing with you because you're purposely obtuse. You don't know how to have an adult interaction. Now,
Okay.
I answered the question that I hold from a biblical narrative, okay, because I hold that the Bible is authoritative over every area that it speaks, as opposed to that the mind of men are the ultimate authority as to the interpretation of everything. That since the Bible lays out in plain language through the genealogies that the earth is young rather than old, then these layers were laid down rapidly rather than over a long period of time, and that it happened through the events that led up to the worldwide flood. In the worldwide flood, we would have had a massive geological upheaval resulting in numerous recurrent tsunamis, producing massive atmospheric changes and including a recurring flooding of the continents, producing many layers of sedimentary deposits deposited in certain places on the earth, and including numerous rainfalls producing successive ice layers in the north as well. Now, obviously, you don't agree with that. Now, I asked you a question which you did not answer. I will repeat the question that I asked. I said, if the earth was indeed created 6,000 to 7,000 years ago, would that make the extrapolatory calculations from the daughter element to the putative parent element, would those calculations be incorrect?
And he did answer that. He said that the calculations wouldn't work at all. Again, not a scientist. Don't know if that's correct, but I'm going to trust Mark there over Darth Baby here. And like what he's saying, like, so it's like the same exact excuse about what they say about the sediments and the Grand Canyon and shit. Almost, it's like, science is wrong because the Great Flood. It just put all this shit there really fast in this particular pattern, and that's just how it happened. And yeah, I don't even have any real evidence for that, but that's what happened because the Bible. Oh my God, I've never heard Darth do his whole YEC thing before. This is new for me.
No.
Yes, they would. Now you didn't understand the question. You did not
I
understand
did. I've already explained this. I've already explained this, that we've sort of monitored the decay of isotope over time.
You're not going to lecture me because I know what happened.
I don't think we're too far from the meltdown now. Let me see. Yeah, no, we're like right there, I think. Or no, so he's still there. No, I just wasn't seeing him. So we're like 10 minutes away. The meltdown is coming, y'all. The meltdown is coming.
Time responses, guys. Can we get some order here? This is chaotic.
I'm going to go into time responses.
See, he's not understanding the issue.
Nobody.
I'm going to talk. Like, you just tried to do that. You didn't even last a round. It didn't even last a round. Mark got his turn, and immediately Darth Dawkins interrupted. And then you just let it happen continuously. And now you're like, no, we're going to try it again.
How can explain to me this? If the Earth were 6,000 years
Hang on. Wait, time out. Hang on.
If the...
Hold on. Time out.
Would you get rid of Kevin, please?
What?
Now,
we're trying to get some
moderation. If the Earth, okay, Mark, I'm going to simplify this for you by asking you a simple question.
Yeah, so Darth, I don't feel like I want to listen to you because you're really not sort of...
Okay.
Can you get rid of Kevin, the other young Earth creationist in the room? Because Kevin doesn't like the fact that I am being Darth Dawkins to a fucking... to a T right now.
Mark, see, this is what happened the last time I dealt with you. Okay.
Yeah, now, I agree.
Mark, look, if somebody found, let's say hypothetically, this is just an illustration.
Right.
Let's say Eve had found Adam's dead body the day after God created him, how old would he have appeared to her?
I don't know how old Adam was. I mean, but presumably under 100 or so.
I just gave you the answer. You just showed that you don't listen. Do you know what I just said to you?
You said if Eve had found Adam's body the day after he created him, how old would he appear?
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Yeah. How old would you know? How old would he
I don't know. Is he an adult? Is he a baby? I don't know.
She couldn't tell. She wouldn't be able to tell because there was no metric for her to apply.
Right, but is she doing radiometric dating?
No, you're not understanding. Okay, what I'm trying to point out to you is this. Okay, listen. In radiometric isotope dating, I can grant you that the decay rate of elements is constant. Okay, but here's the problem. Yep. Do you know what the precise atomic state of any of the parent elements were when they allegedly started and eventually decayed into the daughter element? Do you know what the precise atomic state was?
There is a margin of error, yes. Not exactly.
No, that's not an answer to my question.
Not exactly. There is a margin of error, yes.
No, that's a dodge, what you just said.
That's not a dodge.
Yeah. Are they able to... Is a precise atomic state of the parent element and a conjecture or an extrapolation?
Damn, you think, like Darth has it all solved. He understands and he can prove the flood. So you would think that he would just present this thesis of his to the scientific community so he can get his Nobel Prize and he can prove that the flood actually happened, and he can prove how all of the scientists that have dedicated their lives to that as opposed to being a dick on YouTube, how they're wrong and he's right. And then we could all give Darth Dawkins the due respect that he deserves.
The precise state is a estimation, yes. Precise.
No, you would need a time machine to do that, Mark.
Okay. Well, it still doesn't explain how 800,000.
So you just conceded to my point, Mark? Have you conceded to my point? Okay,
as I said,
Mark,
we know the decay rate of these substances.
No, Mark, I granted you that the decay rate is constant. Okay, so you don't need to be bringing it up. Now, Mark, are rocks porous?
So, do we know how much time has passed from the amount of water element? Yeah, I can't seem to ask any of my own. No, that's the problem.
You're free to ask me questions, but I'm asking a question.
I'm certainly trying.
Are rocks porous, Mark?
Well, depending on the rock.
Are rocks subject to groundwater contamination?
Well, depending on the rock. I mean, some rocks are non-porous, like clays and things like that.
No. All rocks are subject, unless they're allegedly deep in the Earth's crust, are subject to groundwater contamination. Now, can groundwater carry isotopes and contaminate rocks? Okay. Now, so the fact of the matter, that's right. Now, here's the situation. Okay. If the Earth was 6,000 years old, would counting backwards and claiming that the starting isotope was 20, 30.
I am a streaming fool today. What's up, Gur? You're just in time. The meltdown should be coming. And no, like all of this leading up to this, this isn't like the meltdown. Nope. It's Darth being a douche, Darth being a pretty big douche, but this is not the meltdown yet. No.
50, 100, a million years old, when it only came into existence 6,000 years ago, would those calculations and the conclusion that the parental element was hundreds of thousands or millions of years old, would the conclusions be incorrect if the Earth was created 6,000 years ago?
No, Because we can tell from
you didn't understand. You didn't
amount
understand
of
what I just said.
parent element and the amount of
You're not
daughter element
understanding, Mark.
and the rate of decay,
Mark,
how much of the parent element has changed into the daughter element, the amount of time that has passed.
You're not
No, I am listening.
No,
I just
you're
don't
not.
agree with you.
No,
and that's
you're
your
not
problem.
listening.
You
You're
can't
not-
handle
you're not
anyone not
understanding the
agreeing
issue.
with you.
Mark.
This is something. So,
Mark.
Das, let me ask a question then. When are you
Mark.
producing your paper on radiometric dating for the geologists?
That is a smokescreen dodge issue.
No. When are you submitting your paper? No,
are-
Das, answer my question. When are you submitting your paper on it?
Listen to me.
Are you not submitting a paper? Do you not claim to know more
I
than the
don't need to
geologist?
do that. There are a number.
No. When are you submitting
Are you
your
going to
paper?
stop this abuse, Praise?
You're not answering my question,
Are you
Das.
going to
Are
stop
you
this?
or are you
Yes,
not
hold on,
submitting
Are you
a
going to
paper?
stop this?
Are you gonna stop this, Praise? Praise. I can't take it. I can't take it, Praise. Are you gonna stop this? Praise. Are you gonna stop this? Praise. Are you gonna motherfucking Praise?
I do.
Guys,
I'm
let's do
trying
time
to.
responses.
This
I
is
think time responses was
absurd,
good.
Praise, and you sit idly by and you tolerate this.
No, I'm trying to be fair to both.
All right, so we are at the beginning of the meltdown. Let's go back just a little bit. 9-hour stream, so let's not go back an hour. We're at the beginning of the meltdown, y'all. It's all Praise's fault. Hashtag, it's all Praise's fault. It's all your fault, Praise. So, like people say I can't control my emotions, right? Matt Powell goes around saying he makes an atheist cry. He made an atheist cry in a debate, and he's talking about me, and he's talking about me laughing in a debate. Laughing, right? But people say I can't control my emotions. And I'm like, compared to Darth Dawkins, man, I'm a fucking saint on controlling my emotions.
Of the parent element has changed into the daughter element. The
you're
amount
not
of time
listening.
that has passed.
You're not
No, I am
listening.
listening.
No,
I just
you're
don't
not.
agree with you,
No,
and that's
you're
your
not
problem.
listening.
You
You're
can't
not-
handle
you're not
anyone not
understanding the
agreeing
issue.
with you.
Mark.
This is something. So,
Mark.
Das, let me ask a question then. When are you
Mark.
producing your paper on radiometric dating for the geologists?
That is a smokescreen dodge issue.
No. When
Right?
are you
There are-
submitting your paper?
there
No,
are-
Das, answer my question. When are you submitting your
Okay.
paper on it?
Listen to me.
Are you not submitting a paper? Do you not claim to know more
I
than
don't
the
need to
geologist?
do that. There are a number.
No. When are you
Are
submitting
you
your
going to
paper?
stop this abuse, Praise?
You're not answering my question,
Are you
Das.
going to
Are
stop
you
this?
or are you
Yes,
not
hold on,
Are you
submitting
going
a
to
guys.
paper?
stop this?
Wait,
I do.
guys,
I'm
let's do
trying
time
to.
responses.
This
I
is
think time responses was
absurd,
good.
Praise, and you sit idly by and you tolerate this.
No, I'm trying to be fair to both sides, Darth, and like you're just not seeing it, man. I'm
No,
on
it's
your
not that you're being
side.
fair.
I think praise is being fair.
Mark,
But I'm doing a lot of sitting and listening, and you do not answer my question.
I want to do time responses,
you want me to
Darth.
come? Listen,
I think that would be
back
fair.
Do you
here?
not understand what time responses means?
Do you want me
If
to
the
come
other
back
person's
here,
trying to talk,
Praise?
shut up.
Yes, I've already told you this, Darth.
Okay,
I'm trying to be on your
every
side
fucking
here.
time this happens,
This is
every
just
fucking time, and you sit idly by and you allow this abuse, Praise. You do this
Yeah,
every
Praise.
fucking time.
What's the matter with you, man?
Somebody put
I mean,
Darth
do
in
you seriously
timeout.
want me to come
This
back?
is terrible,
This
Praise.
happens
Darth,
I
every
told
time.
you, Darth, yes, but you're too demanding, man.
Then
Show
put a
some.
stop to this childish behavior of this
Darth,
I
adult
offered.
interaction.
I offered time responses,
stop.
Darth.
Okay,
I offered it.
You know what? I've just about
Darth.
had it, Praise. I've just about had it.
Darth,
This
stop,
is
man.
one of my long-standing
control.
Do you
complaints.
not
that I
understand
have
what a
with you.
time response is,
Okay.
Darth? Like, we agree with
All
your
right, you know
points,
what?
but
You know
gotta
what,
do time
Praise?
responses.
This is a dumpster fire, and it's all your thoughts.
How? I'm trying to be fair to both of you.
No, you're
Pretty
not
obvious it's your fault,
being
Tom.
fair. You're not being reasonable, putting up with his abuse. Okay.
I said
Now,
time
you're
responses, man. I'm
moderating the
trying to give you time responses.
I don't understand.
Let me actually turn it on. It's all your fault, Praise. It's all your fault. You big meanie. You big meanie.
My
How
goodness.
have
Like,
I abused anybody? I try
Mark,
to be
I
as
don't agree with your points at all, Mark.
Mark,
He wasn't
it's
letting you
okay.
talk.
We all saw it,
That's
man.
not a
It
good way to
wasn't
have
your
a
fault.
conversation.
You're okay.
sorry, what was that?
And I want to hear what Josh has to say.
Yeah, and that's the end of it. That's the meltdown. And yes, this happened. This happened last night on Praise's channel. It's called Review of Darth Dawkins versus Skylar Fiction. And it started with, I guess they were looking at Skylar's conversation, his latest conversation with Darth. This was on still. When I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, this was still going. I don't know where Praise lives. I think he's like a couple hours behind me. This was still going on. And so, I joined and Skylar joined at that portion way later. And I streamed that this morning. And it was mainly a conversation between Skylar Fiction and the room. I was just letting Skylar do his thing. And then I got into it with Jill. And this happened earlier in that night. And I had heard about it when I first wake up. People were talking about it. They were talking about it on the stream. And at that point, it didn't sound like Praise was too happy with Darth. I'm like, oh, here we go again. But people are saying that Praise is already kissing Darth's ass again here. But yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, I've seen some Darth Dawkins meltdowns, but that's the worst one I've ever seen. That's the worst one I've ever seen. I had it pretty much. It's all your fault. I mean, what a fucking babe. He's like over 60, right? And he's still a fucking child. Oh, I see. You see now why I had to stream again today. I had to show it because it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was absolutely Darth Dawkins that started the dumpster fire. You're not wrong. Oh man. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. It made me laugh. It made me laugh. And praise, man. Just grow a pair. Get a backbone. Tell Darth to fuck off. Just don't call him a serial murderer and a serial rapist and a person that fucks his mom. You don't know that about him, but he's a douchebag. And grow a pair, man. Grow a pair. Praise couldn't have been on Darth Dawkins' side more than that. More. Like, he could have been on Darth's side more. Fucking classic, man. Fucking classic. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.